This is Richard Fowler. I'm John Kilpatrick with Okolona Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. And we're back looking at the steps 5 and 6 of the first three of all three katas. The first part is the same, which tells you that they consider this first part very important. So what's happening here, when we start the kata, you have movements 1, 2, 3 are not important for us. You're starting here, this is 2, this is 3, and then we're going to start at this point, at 3. And when you're doing the short kata with a partner, the way you practice this, and it's not supposed to be realistic fighting or anything, but we both swing and we come here and hit, and the idea is we're swinging at each other's heads, and then we go back the other way without changing hands and hit. Boom. So that would be 5 and 6. Those are the two moves. And one interpretation of course, I'm going to do these as leading movements. And usually when people are doing this, they pretty much just stand there like we just did. So there are two ways of leading with this. And the first one I'll show you is where I duck under it. So we're starting off here. We've got the left hand forward. This is, we're at, this is at 3. Count 3. Then we go, when we bring the Joe up here, do it with me. We're at 4. It comes around. This is 5. Now what I want to do is, this time, is duck underneath his Joe. And if he's swinging at me with the Joe and I just squat down, it's easy for him to follow me and hit me. And I know that because we try to hit each other, and I know that you get hit. So what I'm going to do when he's striking at my head here, I'm going to use my Joe as a substitution for my head. So I'm going to have the Joe here, and he strikes through. No, just come through. And I'm going to have him strike at the Joe, and that works. And it'll substitute for my head so he doesn't follow me down. So if you see how that looks then, we're starting at count 3 with the left hand forward, and then he swings at my head, and I duck under it and hit him. Now, some people like, when you strike there, to let the Joes hit there, and they feel like when he hits my Joe, he feels like everything's working right. I personally don't like to do that. I find it hard for me to, I'm not a good enough athlete to coordinate everything that well. I like to just have him miss. But understand that they're different, a lot of people like to have them hit. But when I'm leading, I don't like to have them hit. And that movement looks like a parry. Both of these most leading movements look a lot like parries, so it's very confusing watching it, what the person's really doing. If you can tell what he's really doing once you understand leading, but if you don't understand leading, it's very confusing. So that's the first scenario. So I'll do it again so that you can see, but we're starting at count 3, and with the left hand forward, and then we strike at each other, 4, 5, and then 6. There's 6 right there. Now the second way of looking at this, we'll start, for the second one, we'll start at 5. So with 5 we have the right hand forward, And so then he's going to swing around without changing hands and hit me in the head. So you change your feet. So he's going to do a step around. Yeah. Now change, step with your back foot. Right. See, he's going to step like that and hit me in the head. Now Saito called in his video, and I'm going to link to it starting with this in his 31 count video. He calls this a reverse strike. We usually call this a shoman-uchi, although I think Saito struck at the neck and not the side of the head, but in Aikido, we call all those shoman-uchis, yokoman-uchis, I'm sorry, we call it a yokoman-uchi. So it's a strike coming from the side. And the way Saito deals with this is that Saito steps in and hits him in the head when he's striking to hit Saito in the head. Now Saito does pivot out of the way, so if you watch it, it looks like this. Well, we both, came in here. Well, I didn't do anything to stop him. I'm going to get hit. Maybe I'll hit him, but if I hit him, it'll be an I-uchi. That's still a loss from my point of view. If I get killed, I lost. I don't care whether I got him or not. So for this kind of leading, what I'm going to do is we're going to start here. Well, I'm going to use my Jo to get him focused on my Jo, and I'm going to step back so that I'm out of the way. So as he strikes, and so I'm stepping back, and he strikes, see, and I've stepped out of the way, and you see him trying to get me. If I don't have this Jo stuck out here, he comes right on after me. But this gets his attention, and so he strikes short because of that. And I did a video the other day showing this with the way Starov does it, where the guy's punching at his face, and he just leads the hand in front of him with his hand. And it's that same principle. So then again, the way I'm doing this, when he strikes, and I step back, see, and I hit his hand, but I'm out of the way of this Jo. So I hit his hand, and then and the way these are done in Aikido is that these, we're not following, it's not this kind of thing. And in some martial arts, you see these figure eights, and they're doing this. That's not Aikido. In Aikido, this is a snap thrust. I'm snapping this out, and then I come back in with a thrust. So those are two leading interpretations of steps 5 and 6.